It all started with a gnome. Not a giant statue, not a neon monstrosity, just a simple, smiling garden gnome holding a little welcome sign. Logan Brooks, a graphic designer who recently moved into the upscale suburban neighborhood of Zarela Grove, had found the gnome at a local artisan market. It reminded him of his grandfather's garden when he was a kid, and he thought it would be a fun, whimsical touch for the front yard. His wife, Maya, laughed when she saw it. Sir Chubbins, she named him, giving the little gnome a salute. 3 days later, the fine arrived. A manila envelope from the Zarela Homeowners Association sat ominously in the mailbox. Inside was a printed letter, cold, formal, and signed in blue ink by Cheryl Halberd, the HOA president. The offense? Violation of Article 14, unauthorized decorative lawn ornamentation. The fine, $500. Due in 10 days. Logan read the letter twice, then a third time. He thought it was a prank at first. Maya assumed it was a mistake. But a quick call to the HOA hotline confirmed it was real and non-negotiable. The woman on the phone said in a robotic tone, "If the gnome is not removed and the fine unpaid, further action may be taken, including lien placement." What? Over a gnome? Logan muttered. Maya suggested they just take it down. "It's not worth it, babe," she said. "These HOA people are intense." But Logan wasn't the kind of person to back down over something so petty. "It's a $20 gnome," he said. "It's harmless. It's fun. It's my yard." That evening, Logan walked the neighborhood, casually observing the other houses. He saw a flamingo-shaped mailbox, wind chimes with dragonflies, and even a plastic owl sitting on someone's fence. None of these decorations seemed to have been targeted. So why his gnome? Fueled by irritation, he posted a picture of the fine, and Sir Chubbins, on the local neighborhood app. The reactions came fast. Classic Cheryl. "She fined me $300 last year for painting my door too bright. They're just bullies with clipboards." That's when he received a private message from Rita Delgado, his next-door neighbor. It read, "You're not alone. Meet me tomorrow. I've got stories." Logan stared at the message, his irritation boiling into curiosity. He had expected to be the neighborhood joke, the guy who got into a fight with the HOA over a gnome. But now, it seemed like he had unintentionally uncovered something deeper. As he looked out the window at Sir Chubbins, still proudly standing in the garden, Logan felt something shift inside him. He wasn't just going to take the gnome down. If the HOA wanted to make a scene over one little decoration, then he was ready to give them a real reason to lose sleep. This wasn't just about a gnome anymore. It was about freedom, fun, and taking down the neighborhood tyrants, one inflatable dinosaur at a time. Logan Brooks wasn't used to being the center of neighborhood drama. But just days after receiving the $500 fine for his innocent little garden gnome, he found himself walking into the Zarela Grove HOA meeting like a man on trial. The meeting was held in the pristine, overly air-conditioned clubhouse, a sterile room that smelled faintly of lemon cleaner and quiet judgment. Folding chairs were arranged in neat rows. At the front sat the HOA board, with Cheryl Halberd, queen of rules and passive-aggressive smiles, perched in the center like a hawk watching her prey. Logan took a seat near the back, clutching his fine notice in one hand and his dignity in the other. Maya had wanted to come for support, but he insisted on going alone. "It's just a conversation," he had told her. "It'll be fine." It wasn't. When Logan raised his hand and calmly asked about the fine, Cheryl gave him a tight-lipped smile. "We have very clear guidelines, Mr. Brooks," she said, her voice sweet but sharp. "Your gnome violates our aesthetic regulations under Article 14, Section 3. Logan held up a photo on his phone. "But I saw a flamingo mailbox 2 houses down. And someone has a dragon wind chime." "That's different," she snapped. "Those were approved." "By who?" he asked. Cheryl blinked. "The board." "And who's on the board?" "You're speaking to them." It was like talking to a wall made of HOA policy and iced tea. Logan argued his case with logic and humor, but Cheryl was unmoved. Beside her sat Terry Blintz, the HOA's self-appointed enforcer, a man who wore a neon safety vest indoors and took notes like he was preparing for a court case. Terry suddenly chimed in, "I personally documented the gnome, sir. It was positioned in direct view of the street, in violation of." "It's a gnome, not a threat," Logan replied. Cheryl raised a hand. "Mr. Brooks, this is not a debate. You have two options: remove the gnome and pay the fine, or face escalating penalties." Logan clenched his jaw. "So, no one here thinks this is ridiculous?" A few neighbors shifted uncomfortably, avoiding eye contact. But as Logan turned to leave, a small slip of paper fluttered to the floor in front of him. It had been passed silently, unnoticed by the board. He picked it up and read the handwritten message. "You're not the only one. Call me, Rita Delgado, Unit 7C. Later that evening, back home, Logan sat with Maya and read the note again. She raised an eyebrow. "Looks like you've got an ally." He looked out the window at Sir Chubbins, still smiling under the porch light. Something had changed. What started as a petty annoyance was growing into something bigger, something worth fighting. He wasn't just the guy with the gnome anymore. He was the guy the HOA had just declared war on. And he was more than ready to fight back, one lawn decoration at a time.